Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, and as promised, I bring you my top 5 worst Gil offers to date. So honestly, this list was actually kind of hard, harder than I imagined, because you look back and some of them aren't too bad, but most of them are just over. It comes down to them being overpriced, really, more than anything. But I mean, anyway, let's get into it. So number 5, I'm gonna go with the Queen Helvetica. I think it's Helvetica deal. It's the princess. I like to say like mythical Princess Lisa update with the little Equestria card. It's Equestria, isn't it? Equestria. No, that's My Little Pony. But what's it called? Equalia, is it? Equalia? Something like that. Anyway, the reason I've put this as number 5, first of all, 175 donuts. It's a very small item. It's a small castle, and honestly, I would say the actual castle itself is probably worth about 100 donuts. The costume, I would not say is worth 75. The costume is very generic. The tasks aren't very exciting. If it came with the friend that Lisa had, the one that came up with the idea in the first place, I forget her name, but I remember, like, I can picture it. If it came with that character, then I might have been more happier with this update. With the fact that it came with a costume that honestly wasn't very exciting, didn't really I didn't really like it, and plus the castle, we've already beforehand we had the Clash of Clunes stuff, so we already had a lot of castle kind of stuff, so it just added to it is another castle thing, and it was a bit annoying really how we didn't get anything unique. So that's number 5. Number 4 is gonna be definitely the Homer, the Homer Ice Cream Man Homer and Gil offer. Didn't like this one very much, purely because they added it was, first of all, it was really random. I didn't understand why they did this offer. It's not like there was like an ice cream, anything like a sweet event or an ice cream event or anything like that beforehand, or currently when it was happening. I think the comic book update just ended. I'm pretty sure. I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. And I guess he gave us a little ice cream truck, which wasn't too bad, I guess. And they gave us another generic costume that was a Ice Cream Man Homer. I didn't like. Now, what I think they could do as a solution to this is just add a task. A task that has, add it to Homer's task blog. Just add a task that makes him an ice cream man for a bit, for like 8 hours or something. But I don't know why they just do this instead. Gave it a whole new costume. It does annoy me. Again, this comes down to value, because I don't think the ice cream truck's worth. I would say the ice cream truck was probably worth about 30 donuts at the most, and the Homer costume nowhere near 90 donuts. Not a chance. I would say about 30 donuts at the most. So it comes down to more of a value for what you're buying thing. Number 3 is actually, I'm gonna go with the shapes, isn't it? Shapes, which came with a strong Marge. Again, it comes down to generic horrible costumes I do not like whatsoever. The first reason is actually Shapes is probably the one item, for all I can see, is the perfect item for Sarah Wiggum to come, because she was a member of the gym, and I just think it kind of made sense for Sarah Wiggum to come with it, but apparently not, because honestly Sarah Wiggum's like a character, she's very much in the background, and whatever. And they gave us again this Muscle Mars, which was from a good episode. I do remember the episode, but she never went to, when she beats up the thug who mugged her, but she never went to a gym. She did it at home. She lifted weights at home, which she doesn't. The character or the costume in itself doesn't fit with the building at all. It's okay to a lot of, I know a person, or Apperson, I'm gonna keep calling you Apperson, but Apperson says that they don't like where we had the, what was it? Declan Desmond, and he was added with the hotel. Apperson didn't like that, because one of my subscribers didn't like that because just presuming that he was in a hotel. But I don't mind if they do. If there's literally no other thing that they could be added with, and there literally is not anything else they can be added with, I'm okay with that. But this kind of ruins it again. You know, Marge shouldn't go with this whatsoever. They should have done something else. They should have added Sarah Wiggin. That would have been better, actually. I mean, even if they did, you know, they made up like some gym story for her, I would have been okay with that. But the thing itself, again, not worth it. Definitely not worth 175 donuts for a little very. The building itself looks a lot like Android Comics, and it's something we've seen before, which is okay because, you know, then you can fit it into your town a bit better. But if it's something we've seen before, it shouldn't be worth 175 donuts, especially with a very generic costume. And then we come on to number 2. Number 2 is the Easter Island Godheads offer. Again, it comes down to pricing. No generic costumes in this one, at least, but this one comes down to to pricing again. We basically got this little Easter Island head with a tiny bit of dialogue and a quest line, I'm pretty sure. It wasn't very much, but a little quest line. This is all they kind of did for Easter. This was like the only new thing they really added into Easter. They didn't do any Easter, and honestly, I'm okay with that because Easter was shockingly bad before. They gave us this little head for 100 donuts, and it's so small, and it does nothing, and it's just pointless. And for 100 donuts, and especially when it's a Gil offer, I think it just didn't make sense whatsoever, and I was really actually annoyed and, you know, disappointed about it. So, you know, that comes number 2, definitely. And then we come on to our number 1, so we can have that drum roll. So number 1, I have gone with the very, very recent Halloween promo Gil offer, and this was kind of the video where I actually mentioned I was going to do my top 5 and top worst Gil offers, and the sole purpose for this is, you know what, you can watch my review for the full and detailed reason, but again, it comes down to pricing and is it worth it. Basically, you get this ugly little sculpture. It's, you know, you guys probably remember because everyone's watching this is going to be a recent Tap player release, so you guys probably saw it. If you bought it, then fair enough. If you didn't, you know, I can understand why. Ugly little sculpture. It doesn't look very nice. It doesn't look very it's something that's quite hard to fit in your town as it is. 225 donuts. It does spawn. I mean, it wasn't even done at the very start of the event. It was done midway of the event, where it basically improves the amount of nightmares that comes in your town. And you didn't need it anyway because you could get plenty of nightmares anyway from, you know, tree stumps, from just generally visiting your town's friends. Most people were able to get the prizes anyway pretty easy without the help of this. It was just a really, really stupid money grab. I have a friend who plays Tapped Out. They play it completely legitly. They were completely able to get everything without buying this whatsoever. They don't buy a thing. They don't buy a thing from. They don't buy a thing out of donuts, and they were able to get all the prizes pretty. And they, you know, they're a daily player, but they managed to get the prizes pretty easy. This is a proper. I think it's a proper money grab from EA, and it's a bit annoying that they try to actually use this to basically get people's money. And also, you have to actually go through some quest lines before it even starts doing it. You know, so especially how you got to wait for another 8 hours for Mr. Burns to do a quest, and you got to, you know, wait another 4 hours before that, and another 2 hours before that. It's really annoying because you can't just start away straight away, especially when it was done midway. If it was done at the very start of the update, maybe I would have thought a bit differently about it, or well, and if it was a bit less in donuts as well. But yeah, this really annoyed me, this update, and this Gil off, and it's probably, I would say it's definitely the worst update. It's definitely the one that takes the piss the most. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my little rant about the top 5 worst Gil offers. Stay tuned next week, where I will have my top 5 and top 5 best and worst friend prizes. Thinking about doing a top 5 and top worst buildings, but I don't know if I could. I don't know how I would do that. If I would do it, you know, where the buildings that were the cheapest, or the buildings that were, you know, they look the nicest, or if they're, you know, the annoying to fit in, and that would work. I'm not too sure how I would do that. But any suggestions for top 5s or top 10s, please do suggest them. It can be top 10 things they need to add. I am wanting to do a top 10 features they need to add into DuckTales, so little things that can make the game a bit easier. And that will be out after I do the friend prize and stuff. Still trying to get down with doing a an update ideas, or like a little update idea videos. I've been trying some of them, just trying to find some ideas for them, like the Martin Luther King Appreciation Day and or / Civil Rights Movement Day, whatever it's called. And also the Chinese Chinese New Year kind of update, or like an Asian celebration update, that kind of thing, and also maybe even a Futurama update. Been trying to kind of determined to try and make them, make like an idea video about them. But I'll come back with you guys with something like that anyway. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.